These plans and goals are for the betterment of Kananga and its people. Number 1, peace and order and war on drugs. 1 out of 23 barangays is not even considered as a result to answer the President's directive on eradicating drugs in the country. 3 years have passed, but we remain to live with the fact that we only have 1 drug-cleared barangay. During my administration, I shall closely be monitoring PNP's drug-related activities and requiring them to regularly submit reports to the Mayor's office by October 2019, on or before my 100th day of office. The entire Kananga will be declared a drug-cleared municipality. We also aim to target 0 crime committed in Kananga. To achieve this goal, we are ready to give full support to all police operations and provide them with additional vehicles and other relevant equipment for the conduct of day and night patrols and checkpoints. I would like to ask our Chief of Police to also increase police visibility in most parts of the municipality. To maintain order and smooth flow of traffic, we will strictly implement traffic rules, ordinances and laws, apply new traffic schemes supported by an ordinance, and will make sure that the completion of the road clearing operations headed by the Task Force MATT be done before the deadline laid down by the DILG circular. Engineer, ha? September na. Number 2, clean water and sanitation / environment. Let me start with clean water. Up to now, majority of the people's plea is to supply them with sufficient clean water. Some families will eventually tell me, Mayor, bisag tubig lang, malipay namin. Sa opisina, tagayin doon, ano? Hearing him say that made me realize that water is a really is a problem that needs to be addressed urgently. With that, we are planning to put up a water supply system to support the demand of water in all barangays. For sanitation, I have 2 points to discuss. First, our solid waste management. When I assumed office last July, we discovered that LGU Kananga has been ordered to close our open dump site early this year. We received financial assistance from EMB for its closure. Unfortunately, na-close na to, pero nag-open sa Taguig. No, the closed dump site was open again dito sa tupad at close. No? So we immediately asked assistance from EMB Region 8 regarding our pressing problem and disposal of our garbage. They are now monitoring our action plans to resolve this problem ASAP. To date, we have already identified 3 possible sites where to construct our sanitary landfill. But for the meantime, I will be imposing strict implementation of the segregation of Malata and Di Malata at the barangay level. And only residuals shall be collected by GSOs and disposed of in the RCA, or Residual Containment Area. My second point that is in line with sanitation is the construction of a proper sewerage system. We must take action on this issue to prevent the spread of diseases caused by these wastes. And lastly, we must stop the rampant illegal sand and gravel extractions happening in our rivers that will cause landslides and other hazardous effects to the environment. No, so yeah, we need to really safeguard our rivers. No? Number 3 is infrastructure. Soon, new infrastructures and businesses will flourish. The new government center will be moved to a strategic place to to allow economic activities to expand. Identified area, as of now, is in the junction of Libungao. The said center will be a one-stop shop that will house all the departments, the gym, national offices, such as PNP and BFP, a plaza, park, and a new terminal. It also is part of the plan to improve our old public market and develop more road networks, especially located in the interior barangays. We will also consider the request from DepEd for new school buildings in the different districts. But again, before this new government center will be realized, we really need to purchase land also. What properties, LGU, na mabalinan. Number 4 is education and manpower. As stated earlier, my administration will prioritize building more classrooms. Okay na naman na. Aside from that, sports programs will likewise be given importance, and we shall establish more sports facilities such as probably a rubberized track and field oval at Kananga Central School. Should kaya ang budget. We will definitely provide more educational assistance and scholarship programs to all, and most especially to college students. Trainings will also be made available to those students who are interested to enhance their technical vocational skills. And lastly, we'll conduct more job fairs in order to offer more new job opportunities to everyone. Number 5, good health and well-being. Just recently, Kananga Municipal Hospital operates 24/7, headed by Dr. Sharon Awit with her staff. Since there are still more demands for medical services, we will be banking on for improved hospital equipment and services coming from our local fund source, or we will venture into a public-private partnership program in the probably a P4 program. In the barangay level, its health centers shall likewise be equipped with basic medicines that will be made available to patients at all times. To address malnutrition, there will be constant supplemental feeding programs to children and medical missions to assess their health statuses. We should furthermore strengthen our social services through the MSWDO. There should be an easy access to these services such as medical, burial, educational, senior citizens, PWD, and solo parent financial assistances. 6, energy. We will also be utilizing our royalty share for electrification and other power-related projects such as putting up LED streetlights all over the municipality to provide enough light during at night and to ensure the safety of our motorists. Number 7, agriculture. To develop the agriculture in the municipality, we will be partnering with various universities and exchanging ideas with students on their advanced agricultural technologies and best practices. We shall be supporting and encouraging farmers to increase the production of high-value crops. Also, tractors and other farm implements will be made available to farmers, but with a fee. The fees will be spent for the maintenance of the facilities and at the same time to generate income for the municipality. Lastly, there will be an establishment of a livelihood center / pasalubong center which will showcase local products coming from small, medium enterprises in the different barangays. 8, tourism, trade, and investments. I think it's about time that Kananga will establish a distinguished and permanent festival. No? This festival shall embody our history and culture to create a unique identity of us. Kanangahanos. Together with the creation of the festival is the identification, development, and official registration of tourist spots and destinations in the Department of Tourism. We also have to widen its market to the region and hopefully throughout the country. To be able to monitor and strengthen our tourism, we shall be creating a municipal tourism office, and the head of office will hopefully initiate to conduct a cultural mapping of the municipality. Number 9, disaster response. Based from our geographical location, we are prone to be affected by natural calamities such as typhoons and earthquakes. It is imperative that we have a sufficient number of trained personnel who are capable in responding to calamities and emergencies at all times. Of course, we shall aid our responders with upgraded disaster-resilient facilities, such as an additional ambulance, enhanced command center that is equipped with CCTVs, monitors, handheld radios, and other required equipment. In fact, we were already able to secure an additional ambulance to the Department of Tourism. Now, tourism transportation. No? With the help of our good Congresswoman and, of course, Mayor Richard. No? So between us, that ambulance was supposed to be for Ormoc, but since nakita nila, mas kinala nato diri sa Kananga, then he gave it to us. Wow. So natay, necessary documents na Kananga na i-process na lang. No? So 10, good governance and revenue generation. The Sangguniang Bayan has crafted and approved hundreds of resolutions and ordinances since from the beginning. However, not all have been implemented. So during my administration, we shall be properly executing all ordinances, especially those that are applicable and vital for the fast progress of our municipality. Lastly, I will impose to improve the efficiency of tax collection to add more revenues and cope up with all the deficits that we encountered before. Well, elections are over. It is now time for the real game, which is the public service. It is now time to have a paradigm shift from the old, complicated, and self-serving politics to a selfless, mature, fair, and service-oriented government. In this administration, it will not anymore be a one-man show. Responsibilities will be decentralized and employees shall be empowered. I will be more keen on the outputs generated by the offices rather than their unused plans. Now let me leave you with these terms to ponder: transparency, accountability, and service-oriented. Let me ask you, do you have these qualities as public servants? If yes, then you are ready to be part of the team. No? Welcome. No, so that's all for my agenda, and I hope we can closely work together to achieve our goals as one Kananga. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Mayor MIGUEL Torres. And now, to hear his priority legislative agenda, we may now call on no other than the Honorable Vice Mayor Miguel George Pita.
Good afternoon. Kailangan mo sayaw. Okay, so in response to the executive agenda of the mayor, so the 22nd Sangguniang has also prepared our legislative agenda. So for the next Ready na itong one?
Ikaw muna sa'yo, Vice. Energizer, Vice.
Carbo. So, kailangan na ito ano? Legislative agenda for this term, 2019 to 2022. For the next 3 years in service of the members of the Sangguniang Bayan as duly elected representatives of the people of Kananga Leyte, the august body vows to live up to the mandate and expectations of its constituents, and shall pass and enact legislation aimed towards the development and progress of the municipality, and improvement of the quality of life and general welfare of the Kanangahanons. As the Legislative Council of the municipality, the Sangguniang Bayan of Kananga pledges its support, full support and cooperation to the programs and projects of the present local administration, as outlined in the Executive Agenda for the years 2019 to 2022 of our Municipal Mayor, the Honorable Manuel Vicente M. Torres. Actually, we have five agenda on social services, environmental management, economic development, and development administration, and on governance. So let's tackle the first. Number one, on social services. The Sangguniang Bayan will promulgate measures for the welfare and protection of the youth. The existing ordinance for the protection and welfare of the children and youth pursuant to the Children's Welfare Code will be revisited to incorporate the current trusts and provisions of the new laws. Suitable areas shall be identified through appropriate legislative measures for the establishment of holding centers for juvenile offenders. A municipal college education assistance program shall be set up to cater to the less privileged yet deserving students. Second, pass appropriate measures for the enhancement of livelihood projects and programs in support of the indigent and less privileged Kanangahanons. Ordinances and resolutions shall be passed to uplift the economic and social conditions of the less privileged and indigent members of the community. The provision of livelihood opportunities in the form of grants, subsidies, or assistance shall be considered in such measures with emphasis on women economic empowerment, as well as cooperatives on agriculture, fisheries, and other home-based industries. Third is pass appropriate measures to strengthen the revitalization barangay health and daycare services and proper training of barangay health and daycare workers. Areas shall be identified for the strengthening the health and daycare services, especially in upland communities, in order to make such services more accessible to constituents in remote areas. Appropriation should be provided for the training of barangay health and daycare preschool workers for better efficiency. Fourth, revisit ordinances on granting of franchises to operate tricycles for hire, regulation of habal-habal operations, as well as the traffic ordinance. Existing ordinances granting franchises to entities to operate tricycles for hire shall be reviewed. The traffic regulation ordinance will likewise be revisited in order to be adaptable to the present traffic and future traffic conditions of the municipality. Fifth, revisit other existing ordinances such as the anti-smoking ordinance, anti-rabies protection ordinance, and etc. The LGU has several duly enacted ordinances, however, were not implemented by the previous administration, such as the anti-smoking ordinance and the anti-rabies protection ordinance, among others. These ordinances shall be revisited to find out what hinders their implementation. 6. Pass appropriate measures to prioritize our local labor and skilled workers in the industrial establishments of the localities. In order to promote the employment of local constituents who are qualified to undertake industrial works, an ordinance shall be enacted to have them prioritized in our local employment. On the environmental management, we have the first is revisit the Municipal Environmental Code and the Municipal Sanitation Code and other related legislative measures for the protection of the environment and natural resources. This measure intends to restore forest biodiversity and the delicate balance of the ecosystem, like birds and butterflies being prime agents of dispersal of flora seeds shall be equally be protected by providing sanctuaries for them wherein it shall be declared illegal to capture or harm such creatures in the areas. Like watersheds whose existence are crucial in providing adequate potable water supply to the municipality shall be identified and protected through enactment of local regulatory laws. Aside from providing potable water, watershed areas also increase the natural forest cover and decrease global warming. Watershed areas may also serve as natural attractions to local and foreign ecotourists. Second, enact measures to regulate the extraction of mineral and quarry resources. The Sangguniang Bayan shall enact ordinances prescribing the rules and regulations of rivers, river desiltation projects, and to regulate the extraction of sand and gravel from rivers. On economic development, we shall enact measures and legislative support for agriculture and agri-based ventures. The Sangguniang shall adopt measures that would aim for the prosperity of farmers, their competitiveness, food security, and sustainable production systems. Focus on agriculture and agri-based ventures such as seedling propagation and distribution, dairy, cattle and swine dispersal, vegetable farming, among others, shall be enhanced with proper legislation. Second, enact the market code of the municipality. In absence of the market code, there are issues that may not be appropriately and timely addressed to. Thus, necessitates the provision of the said document. It will serve as the basis of regulating the trade, not only inside the public market area and its peripheries, but as well as the trading of all commodities and merchandise in the entire locality to promote safety of storage and consumption and to protect those who are already in the legitimate trade. And the third is to enact the Municipal Abattoir Code, just for the slaughterhouse. The municipal needs to promulgate measures in the management of the municipal slaughterhouse. This can be properly addressed to the enactment of municipal ordinances for the purpose. And also the fourth is to revisit the local investment code for us to attract capitalists to invest in the municipality. On the development administration, we shall revisit the Municipal Tax and Revenue Code and improvement of local income through the integration of incentive privileges and the tourism promotion and development. The existing Municipal Revenue Code shall be revised to reflect new taxes, fees, and charges subject to limitations provided for the law. Ecotourism development and promotion shall be given emphasis to increase local income, and natural and man-made tourist spots shall be declared and protected through proper legislative action. Second, the Human Resource Development Program. Human resource development shall be given emphasis by appropriating sufficient amount of trainings, seminars, conferences, and capability building of municipal officials and employees. Okay. The third is Office Automation Program. Aggregate amount shall be appropriated for the networking of the various departments with emphasis on real property tax assessment and collection, business permit issuance, tracking and monitoring, and the Philippine Public Sector accounting standards and the real property tax assessment system, as well as enhancement of web presence of the LGU through improvement of existing municipal websites as medium of information and tourism and business promotion. On governance, we shall codification of the programs. All general ordinances will be codified. The franchise and traffic ordinances will be revised and placed in this code. Regulatory ordinances and the operation of video case, karaoke bars, and video houses shall be passed and likewise be placed in this code. Para mahanay na tanan ang atong kinanta mag-codify sa atong mga ordinansa. Regulation of the installation height of electrical and communication wires and cables in the municipality shall be in operation of cellular and other telecommunication businesses will be promulgated. And the second is enhance the capabilities of the barangay councils on local legislation. Meaning the Sangguniang Bayan will hold sessions with the barangay councils. So that also the SB, our Sangguniang Bayan members who are chairpersons of different committees can share their ideas with the barangay council committees also to enhance their capabilities. Okay? And of course, the third and the most important is we shall promulgate other essential legislation in support of the agenda of the local chief executive. In manifestations of the full support of the Sangguniang Bayan to the agenda of the local chief executive, the August body shall promulgate such measures necessary for the attainment of such agenda as the need arises. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Vice Mayor Miguel George Pitan. So, you hear the complementation of the executive branch and the legislative branch with their executive priority and legislative priority agenda. So, I hope every sector take down notes sa kantong mga executive and legislative priority agenda sa atong mayor o vice mayor. Okay? Yes, that is why ayaw na lang mo bitaw pag-take note because we will be giving you the copy of that executive and legislative agenda of our mayor and vice mayor.